Hello and welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Wow, did not see this coming. Finally, all season, Orioles finally get a sweep. Yes, beat the Chicago White Sox 3 straight games. Wow! And Charlie Martin was on the mound for the final game. Well, how about that? Holy shit. Look, some of the same things are staying the same this season after the big change in moving Brandon Hyde or removing Brandon Hyde. You get a few guys off the injured list, bam, you get a few more, go right back on there. Still at a dozen on the injured list. Well, as of earlier this morning, I don't know what they've been up to since they've all gotten into work today. I don't know. I know part of it is traveling to Seattle, unless they left yesterday. I don't actually know their travel plans, but I know they are going to the West Coast. Now, it's odd that the day Brandon Hyde was removed, Gibson started the game, could not get out of the first inning, and Charlie Morton was brought in. Like 4 and a third, right? Finished off that first inning and then continued to pitch 4 more innings. A very good outing from him. And 2 starts since then. 2 wins by Charlie Morton. Is this having anything to do with it? Was Brandon Hyde really mismanaging the pitching staff so much that his removal causes Charlie Morton to be really good again? Because he's been looking really good. I don't know. Just a weird coincidence, I guess. So you can see him on MasterSports.com. Let's get to game 1 of that series. Chicago White Sox 1, Baltimore Orioles 2. Yeah, some close games, but went into close games, I guess. Yeah, Mansolino has said he's going to give Jackson Holliday an extended run at the leadoff spot. We'll see. And again, to a certain extent, Jackson Holliday doing a little bit better at leadoff spot with Tony Mansolino running things instead of Brandon Hyde. How much does a manager really affect the team? To a certain extent, rotation is practically set up for you. You decide who's the best, and you pitch them in order. 1 through 5, you're on your starters. First is going to go number 1, and your worst is going to be your worst is going to be 5th, and kind of plays out by itself because they all really need 5 days rest. The lineup, to a certain extent, it is kind of self-explanatory in the same way. Though to a certain extent, does, let's say, a GM or an assistant GM have some kind of influence in the lineup? I would say for the most part, yeah. A few spots here and there, probably not. Up to manager discretion for the most part. Yeah, I would say that Michael Ayers or Sig Mejdal or one of their assistants does the lineup. Managers more in-game decisions like what pinch hitter to use where and who. Or I guess I did say what pinch hitter. Which relief pitcher to bring in and when. Something Brandon Hyde wasn't exactly doing that well at, in my opinion. Of course, here you go. Jackson Holliday getting his extended run at leadoff. Over. Cool. Adley Rutschman, 1 hit. Gunnar Henderson, 2 hits. Ryan Mountcastle, 2 hits. What is his name? Is it Cooper? Yes, Cooper Hummel. Actually seeing some action with the team this time. Weird set of moves. I'll get to that later. Yeah, Hummel here. Remember, he was DFA'd, so Chadrick Trump can be here. Trump was here because Adley was dealing with that ball to the face, which you can see right here, Adley catching. So, got out of the woods with that being more serious than it was, or than it could have been. So, Cooper Hummel here, over in his only at bat. Ryno Hearn, 1 hit. Wow, We're 5 spots through the order. Nobody's got an RBI yet. Huh. And they won this game. Holy shit. Ramon Arias, 0 but an RBI. Oh, there's one. Whew. Emmanuel Rivera serving as a DH. Okay. Yeah, that's weird. Well, yeah, some of the wrong dudes on the injured list, but yeah. 0 Heston Kjerstad. 0 Wait, how did they score that run? Shit. I totally forgot how they scored that run. Dylan Carlson, 1 hit, also walked once. Wow. And they won this game. I totally forgot how they scored this run. In the 6th inning, what the hell? Was it a pass ball? Single, double, single. The bases were loaded. O'Hearn hits into a 4th inning infield. Adley Rutschman was out at home. Urias sacrifice fly. Wait a minute. Adley Rutschman out at home. Gunnar scores. Oh, that's right. Duh. I totally forgot about that. The stealing of the... I don't remember which game is which game sometimes. There's so many baseball games. There's really too many. 162 is a lot. Hard to tell which one's which. This was the steal of home. Having trouble getting runners in, as the Orioles usually do. And who was... He was here before Rivera gets the out, but after the sacrifice fly, you had Mountcastle on third, O'Hearn at first, nobody on second, so O'Hearn steals. And catcher throws right through it. 2 outs, you figure you get him, you get a slower runner. Of course, the ball was cut off and fired into home, and Mountcastle beats it. And that would be one of the last plays we seen Ryan Mountcastle in the field. Or, contribute to the team. Yep. He's on the injured list now. Was it on that steal of home? Don't know. It really didn't appear that way. It could have been more somewhere after he got up from the slide. He did leg out a ball. Was it this one? I think it was this one where he legged it out. Could he have tweaked the hamstring there? Well, probably not, because he was able to steal home. Right? If he's bothered by this hamstring thing, would he be able to steal home? Maybe not. I don't know. It's tough to say. It's weird, though. Where the hell did he injure it? Had trouble figuring that out. But oh well. Weird, did you see a steal of home? Why does nobody get an arm? I guess, yeah, because it wasn't batted in. Right. That was the deciding blow there. Weird that they were able to hold it, make it stick. They were. Pitching, good pitching this weekend. Henderson only extra base hit, double. Mountcastle, O'Hearn, and Holiday with stolen bases. Because technically home plate is a base. Zach Eflin, 7 strong innings from Zach Eflin. White Sox got some offensive problems, much like the Orioles do. 7 full innings pitched for Eflin. Only gives up 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Wow. Only 5 base runners. Or doesn't commit any errors, right? Yeah. Wow. It's pretty good. Brian Baker in for the 8th. Yeah, not Baker, not Cano, not Soto, not Kittredge. Okay. I mean, yes, Baker is pitching well enough to get a spot here. I do think maybe some of it was Baker blowing it a bit in one of his previous outings. The previous time that he got a high leverage situation, he kind of blew it. So you don't want that to snowball. So you give it to him again. You show you have trust in him. And you know what? You almost get kind of lucky that it's the White Sox because they're a little offensively challenged. So 1 full inning pitch for Baker. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. You see Felix Bautista in for the 9th to get his 9th save. And yeah, it's a good thing Mountcastle stole home. Because Bautista, a little shaky in his past few outings. But to a certain extent, I think that some is because of the increase in reps he's getting. But at the same time, he kind of needs these increased reps. We need to go through the growing pains of Felix Bautista. That was one of the problems with Brandon Hyde. We weren't ever going through the growing pains with Felix Bautista. Oh, we were never in a winning situation, so I never put him in. I don't know how that is good. How is that ever good? You can't just never pitch your closer because then he's not there when you need him. But whatever. 1 full inning pitch for Felix Bautista does give up 2 hits and a run and a walk, but 2 strikeouts. 29 pitches for Felix. A lot. Game 2 of the series. Chicago White Sox 2, Baltimore Orioles 4. A little bit higher scoring game, huh? Holiday hitting an RBI. Rutschman 0 with a walk. Henderson 0. O'Hearn 1 hit. Arias 0. Mayo. Yeah. Kobe Mayo's back. I told you Mountcastle on the injured list. So who do you think it would be? Running out of options down there. Hitting an RBI. Holy shit, he contributed offensively. And yeah, by the way, he actually looks better defensively at first than he does at third. Heston Kjerstad, 0. Yeah, getting a little tired of Heston Kjerstad being on his team still. Colton Cowser's close. And I really hope it's... Well, you see this man Adams here. Probably let Kjerstad stick around a little longer. Maybe the O'Neal move. Well, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but he's becoming too much of a liability. He's not contributing offensively, and he's involved in misplays in the outfield. Now, to a certain extent, some of this misplay that happened here Saturday be also because Mateo is relatively new to center field. Mateo going after a ball in center that's fading towards right center. Yeah, maybe Mullins yields to Kjerstad. Maybe Carlson yields to Kjerstad because I guess it was a lefty that hit it. I don't remember who hit it, but it was fading, curling, slicing towards right field away from Mateo. With a more experienced center fielder, knowing that his right fielder was there to make the catch, would they have yielded to him? Tough to say. It really is. Because to a certain extent, the mindset for a center fielder being the captain of the outfield is if you can get to the ball, it's your ball. Yes, collision. No, nothing too serious at the moment. I haven't heard anything, which is one of the reasons why I said at the beginning of the show, the number that they were at, not counting if maybe Mateo needed some time on the injured list. Because it wasn't, what was a violent collision we saw? The Twins with Buxton and Correa, who actually both needed to come out of the game. It wasn't like that. It was more like the collision between Henderson and Mateo last year. Except in this instance, they were both on their feet. And I feel like Mateo's arm was probably allowed more range of movement and therefore maybe avoided the injury. Because to a certain extent, why he got injured last year was because when they collided on the ground. There were less places for Mateo's arms to go, so kind of got a little trapped, trapped, hooked, rolled over on. This was more both of them, Heston, Kjerstad, and Jorge Mateo, with their arms, their gloves up, trying to catch the ball, and that's really what collided. Not necessarily their bodies, more their arms, but that was the arm that, at least they said, well, I thought it was his throwing arm, but I guess it wasn't his throwing arm. Because that was definitely his glove arm. I don't know. Whatever. And to a certain extent, he did say more in the postgame that he was fine. It was more because he went through it last year. He was a little bit, maybe not scared or shocked, but almost like it took the wind out of him. Supposedly they're okay. And Kjerstad somehow caught the ball. Well, he's a much larger person than Mateo, so I guess that's probably why. All right, continuing with the lineup and what they did. Carlson with a hit, getting a lot more playing time, especially now with Mullins. You see Mullins not in there. Yeah, that's why he didn't have as many games played against the Cardinals, is what I'm gathering. Tried to give it a go, but just couldn't. Had to land on the IL. Mateo hit 2 RBIs, also walked twice. Kind of game you think Jorge Mateo had? He got a hit, he got 2 RBIs, he got walked twice. How many stolen bases do you think he's got? Guessing game for all you guys out there. If you win, you get a big prize from yourself. You can buy yourself a nice prize and tell yourself it's from me. Mr. Adams comes in. What is his name? Is it Jace? Jordan. Not familiar with him. Comes in defensive replacement for Mateo. Which is weird. You would think he would come in for Kjerstad, but however, did not receive an at-bat. O'Hearn, Carlson with doubles. Mateo, Holiday with home runs. Mateo with 2 stolen bases. Haha, you probably thought it was more, didn't you? Up to 14. Dean Kramer gets a start in this game. Goes 6 full innings. Not as good as Zach Eflin, but still pretty good. Does give up 6 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. That's still a fantastic line. Because to a certain extent, what is Kramer labeled as? Your second starter? No. Your third starter? No. I would say more, well, maybe third or fourth. Not even, even to start the year, because Eflin was going to be 1. We're thinking Rodriguez 2, and it didn't pan out that way. So you're thinking maybe Sagano going to step up. Maybe Morton, because, you paid him all that money. More, well, look, Eflin definitely 1. I think the way Sagano's pitched, he's probably 2. Morton, it's tough between Morton and Kramer because, Kramer has been there for you. He's relatively consistent. Morton, what are we going to get from Morton next time out there? I have no idea. Because he's only recently found it. So Kramer's what, your 3rd or 4th best starter? This is a great line from your 3rd or 4th best starter. It's fantastic. You can't ask for more than that. So 6 full innings pitched. Did I go through this? I'll go through it again. I don't care. Gets 6 hits, 1 run, and 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. 7 strikeouts is nice. More than a strikeout per inning. Yeah, love it. Cano in for the 7th inning. Shaky outing for Cano. Only throws 10 pitches. Odd, because it almost seems like he's getting favored less. Though to a certain extent, I feel like he's pitching a lot less, which is somewhat concerning. Only able to go a third of an inning here. He does face 3 batters, doesn't he? Yeah, he faces 3 batters, 10 pitches, and that was it. In that 1/3 of an inning, he gives up 2 hits and 1 run. No walks, no strikeouts. Somewhat disappointing. Keegan Aiken brought on to finish the 7th inning. Yeah, a few lefties coming up there, so I guess that's part of the reason. He does get out of it. He gets the final 2 outs of the 7th inning. No hits, no runs. Does walk a batter, no strikeouts, though. Sir Anthony Dominguez in for the 8th inning. Pitching the full 8th inning. No hits, no runs. Does walk a batter and strike somebody out. Definitely is using the splitter more. It's weird. You feel like he brought it out in that Cleveland Guardians series against Jose Ramirez, and then we didn't see it for a while. Past 2 or 3 outings, I feel like we've seen it a lot more, which is somewhat odd, but whatever. It's working now. Felix Bautista in here for another save, getting his 10th save. Yeah, another back-to-back outing by Felix Bautista. He throws 23 pitches this time. Was it 23 pitches that night? What did he throw? 29 pitches. So, what, 52 pitches? Back-to-back outings? First time in a while. Because I think the last time he threw back-to-back outings against the Brewers, they were both days were in the low 20s. This one was in the high 20s here on the first outing, or the first game of this 3-game series, and then low 20s here, so 52 total back-to-back games. Yeah, a little shaky again, a little better this time, I guess. Pitching the full 9th inning, no hits, no runs. Does walk 2, which isn't great. Does strike 3 out. So that is a little better. That is a little closer to Felix Bautista. Because yeah, he'll walk people. He is not a control guy, he's not a command guy. He is a high velocity dude. He's a thrower. He's a thrower, not a pitcher. And he is, to a certain extent, trying to learn a little more how to become a pitcher. We'll see how that goes moving forward. Game 3. Get no extra innings in all this, too. 3-game sweep in less than 9 innings because they were at home. How about that? Chicago White Sox 2, Baltimore Orioles 3. Orioles actually made 2 king errors in this game. Yeah. Cool. Holiday 1 hit, Arias hitting in a 2-hole, which is good. I would almost rather it be Arias. 2 hits and an RBI. Henderson 2 hits. Especially you get more games like that. Because again, remember what I said about Rutschman being the switch hitter. He's not as great from the right side. Part of it is because he doesn't take as many at-bats from the right side. Ramon Arias gets more at-bats from the right side than Adley Rutschman. So who has perfected the right-handed batting stance? Sure. Arias has. Adley Rutschman not even there yet. You know, he just hasn't had enough at bats. So I do feel like, at least for the time being, Ramon Arias should be there. Maybe when Jordan Westburg gets fully healthy, maybe it's Jordan Westburg. Again, Henderson 2 hits. O'Hearn 0 but RBI and a walk. Kobe Mayo 0. Emmanuel Rivera, defensive replacement late. Dylan Carlson, a hit and an RBI. Jorge Mateo 0. Mr. Adams in there again, defensive replacement. This time for Mateo, or I guess again for Mateo. Which is, it's still weird. Kerstad's not the one you're taking out. Okay. Kerstad 1 hit. Yeah. This fucking guy. I'm getting to the point where I'm kind of done with Kerstad. At least for this season. Maybe you give him another opportunity next year, but I'm done with him this year. Too many misplays in the outfield. He's not hitting. And even when he does hit, he's making base running mistakes. Oh, yeah. Because he got a hit here. And it was technically a triple. Yeah. Hooked it down the right field line. They were not playing him to pull for some reason. Got into that corner where the garage is. And he kept running. And even when the pitcher started pitching to the other batter, he kind of felt like he should keep running. More on Maverick Hanley, a hit. Oh, Maverick Hanley got a hit. Holy shit. Carlson Holiday with doubles, Kerstad with triples. Yeah, picked off Heston Kerstad because he's wandering around off of third base. Because... Why? What the hell inning was that? How many outs were there? I don't remember how many outs there were. I feel like there was less than one. What the hell inning was that? Yeah, see, here you go. In the fourth. Mateo strikeout swinging. Here comes Kjerstad. Triple. So there's one out. There's one out. And you... Now, okay. Maverick Hanley struck out swinging. But to a certain extent, if you were on third base, could Maverick Hanley maybe have been able to put the ball in play somehow? Could he? Possibly. Maybe he shortens up the swing. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, there's nobody on base. What's he going to do? But you put it in play with a man on third, maybe something happens. But no, you wandering off third base. Of course, maybe that's what they were trying to do. Maybe they were trying to get Hanley to touch the ball with his bat. He's not known for offense. He's a backup catcher. He's known for defense. Couldn't do it. And ends up almost hanging Kjerstad out to dry. Not that he shouldn't have been that far off of third base and to begin with. He really shouldn't have. But whatever. Errors by Hanley and Holiday. Yeah, Holiday a field there. Hanley catcher interference. The fielding error by Holiday led to a run. So, not that it's necessarily an easy play to make, and all this stuff, but yeah. It leads to your run score, and it's definitely going to be an error. Charlie Morton with the start in this one goes 6 2/3 of an inning. Wow. Where in the hell has this been the whole time? Look, I know the White Sox are really bad this year again, but some of the other teams the Orioles face ain't that good neither. What the hell's going on now? I don't know. Maybe Robinson Chirino's taking more charge in the catching department since, Tim Cousins and Brandon Hyde both gone. Maybe he's got a bit more influence on what pitches to call. Maybe Drew French is taking more of an aggressive role with the pitchers instead of, letting Brandon Hyde, the manager, have his say because he's the manager. Tony the Mansalito is still kind of the interim manager, so maybe Drew French is doing it more. I don't know. Something happened. Who knows what the hell it was. Charlie Morton, 6 2/3 of an innings pitched. Doesn't give up the 6 hits. Doesn't give up the 1 run, but no 1 runs. Thank Holiday for that. Does give up a walk. So, yeah, the whip is up there a little bit more than 1, but only a little bit, 7 strikeouts, which the strikeouts are higher than 1 an inning as well. Wow. Where the fuck is this? Where has this been the whole time? Okay, however, Gregory Soto brought on to finish off the 7th inning and ends up only being able to get the first out in the 7th inning, giving up, 2/3 of an innings pitched over, again, 2 innings. Doesn't give up a hit and a run, but no walks and no strikeouts. Kittredge brought in to finish off the 8th inning, get those final 2 outs. So 2/3 of an inning pitched, no hits, no runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. Okay. I mean, Kittredge only needed 3 pitches, which is weird. It was weird. It was quick. It's a very quick inning. Because even Soto, you see 9 pitches total for Soto. So, yeah, Soto finishing off, or getting his out in the 8th inning. He got his out on a few pitches and brought in Kittredge to throw 3. Weird. It was a weird 8th inning because it was fast. I feel like you blink and you miss the inning. Crazy. Brian Baker on for the save. Yeah. 2nd career save. First save of the year for Brian Baker. Well, he's probably other than Kittredge, and I guess you really wanted Kittredge to, it was more of a leverage situation. I think it was more of the heart of the order for Kittredge. I think maybe, who was it for the White Sox? You can probably tell here. Yeah, because you see 3 at-bats versus 4 at-bats. So, and well, it was, Vargas, Benintendi, and Sosa. Oh, no, wait, here's 4 here. Actually, it looks like the bottom of the lineup. Right? Let's go to this one more time. Slow me down. Yeah, Robert, Caro, and Rojas. So yeah, it was the bottom of the order there for Baker, and more the heart of the order in there in the 8th and the 7th. So that's why Soto and Kittredge, I guess, almost about equal pressure, I guess. Potentially. Because for Baker, it is the last of it. This is the last inning, and we get a sweep. So if you nail it down here, we get the sweep. So, plus you got to think, the previous few innings, it's the heart of the order. Baker, very good showing for his first save of the year. No hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. All right, yeah. Kind of glad that he was one of the ones that stuck around through this rebuild. Shocking. It's shocking to see that. And it's shocking to see that so many mistakes yesterday and they were still able to win that game. Base running mistakes by Kjerstad. Fielding mistake by Holiday. Makes you wonder what their record would be if they'd stop making so many mistakes and stop getting their buddies injured. Yeah, it'd be a lot different. I guess that's why some of the things have just turned out this way, and why one of the reasons Hyde gets fired, and why, say, the fan base isn't happy. Some of this shit is just self-inflicted. All right, let's get to some of these transactions. Yes, Cedric Mullins to the 10-day injured list, retroactive May 29, so that should be eligible to come off when? Should be June 8th, I guess. That would be 10 days. Remember, 31 days, or I guess maybe it would be June 7th. Well, June 7th would be the 10th day. Because 29, 30, and then 31 would be 3 days. And June 7th would be 7 days. 10 days. So we'll see when he's ready to go. Cody Petit's still around. Shoulder inflammation, moved to the 60-day injured list. Okay, cool. Cooper Hummel, 1-year contract selected again. Maybe they're paying him double. I don't know. He was DFA'd to get Chadwick Trump here for a few games because Adley Rutschman didn't need an injury list. Okay, cool. It's fine. However, I'm just trying to keep track of this shit. Mountcastle placed on the injured list. Kobe Mayo, recalled, going to get a lot more opportunities at first base now, which is good because I did see him. He played a few times at first last year when Mountcastle was injured. I feel like he definitely looked better at first base than he did at third. He's a bigger guy. He's not a fat dude or anything. He's almost like Troy Gloss without the cannon for an arm and not the hitting prowess. At least not yet anyway. But we'll see how he turns out. And because Adley Rutschman has kind of cleared through, got out of the woods on his concussion, Chadwick Trump decided no longer needed. So, especially with Hummel being here, because to a certain extent, the speculation is that Hummel can be an emergency catcher if you need to. So again, no need for Trump and Jordan Adams, because you kind of need another center fielder, because all you got is Carlson and Mateo. And that's just not good enough defensively. Not when your other 2 options at outfielder are Ryno Hearn and Heston Kjerstad. You need somebody out there that can play some defense. So we'll see. Haven't seen too much out of Jordan Adams. He's played a few innings out there, but hasn't really done a whole lot. So kind of anxious to see a few balls get hit his way and see what he can do out there. I'm sorry. These we'll call them articles about the injuries and the roster moves are given to us by the Masson staff. Last one here, Cionel Perez cleared the waiver process, which to a certain extent is surprising, but to a certain extent with the performances this year, it's not that surprising, and has accepted the assignment to AAA Norfolk. So it's kind of nice that Cionel does stay in the system. We'll see if he gets another shot. This article here, shit, I don't know which one was which. Well, they were both written by Rock Kabatko over the weekend, so I'll just, One of these articles is talking about Jordan Westburg and Colton Cowser and Samuel Basayo and what they are doing down there in the minor leagues. Now, Basayo's really young. He's hitting, yes, he's hitting fairly well down there in AAA. The problem is he's coming off an injury that has kept him more out of behind the plate. Sure, I guess that's the right word. But has been able to hit to a certain extent. So the hitting's back. We're probably not going to see him in the major leagues. I know we're looking at Maverick Hanley and him not doing too much offensively and thinking, oh, where's Basayo? Where's Basayo? Basayo's young and really coming off an injury that didn't really allow him to start catching as soon as it allowed him to hit. So if he comes up here, he again, coming back from an injury, less time behind the plate, not something you really want from a backup catcher. Colton Cowser, he's tearing it up. He's tearing it up out there. He's getting doubles, he's getting home runs, he's driving in runs, not having offers. He's much further along than Jordan Westburg. Westburg has only had a few games out there. Colton Cowser has been out there for several games. Jordan Westburg not, I mean, again, timetable is a little behind Colton Cowser. So Westburg actually went over the last time Rock reported it. Allegedly, tentative plan. They got a road trip. One series in Seattle and then a series somewhere. I forgot where the next series is. I'll get to it in the schedule. It is part of the plan that Colton Cowser join the team on the West Coast trip. So we'll see how that goes. Because he's played at least, 5, 6, 7 games down there. Does he need more? Look, we just lost Mullins to the injury list. Cedric Mullins, Colton Cowser, Ramon Laureano, Tyler O'Neill. Your top 4 outfielders when opening day. And guess what? They're all on the injured list right now. Yeah, we need somebody. Okay, you want Colton Cowser to get in his rehab assignment. How long does he need? Get out of here, fly. I'll kill you, fucker. How long does he need? Debatable, everybody's different. But if he's hitting down there, his legs are healthy enough, his hand's healthy enough. I mean, his hand's got to be healthy enough. He's getting hits. Not only is he swinging the bat, he's getting hits. I think he's got... you're really close to be... It has to be time. It has to be. Because you need... You need the bodies up here. He's running around a minor league outfield. It's not that different, okay? That's really what I would be worried about. Him running around, catching a baseball, throwing a baseball. I don't care too much about hitting right now because who do we got out there in the outfield? That's part of the problem now. So we'll see when that happens. Now, probably won't be Kjerstad goes away. It's fine. Whatever. Kjerstad can hang on a little bit more. My guess, because we haven't been seeing... I feel like it would have to be Jordan Adams because of all the other positions they're saying Cooper Hummel can play. Cooper Hummel will stick around, and it'll be Jordan Adams going away. Sad, but it is what it is. And then maybe when either Mullins or Tyler O'Neill. Now, again, the plan with Tyler O'Neill, he will travel with the team to at least Seattle for the first part and then go on a rehab assignment. Part of my thinking is, why are you going to send him all the way to the West Coast and then send him all the way back here to the East Coast to do his rehab assignment? Unless the Norfolk Tides are going to be out here on the West Coast somewhere. Other than that, I don't know why. Of course, why, as a major league owner, are you paying money to have your minor league team go from the East Coast to the West Coast? Just have them stay on the eastern side of the country. I don't know what. But whatever. Tyler O'Neill is a few days away from going on a rehab assignment, which is nice. Saying that, oh, yeah, the neck thing may have caused the shoulder thing, and to a certain extent, they're kind of going away now. All right, cool. That's fantastic. And also, Ramon Laureano, Gary Sanchez, and somebody, I forgot who. Maybe it was Tyler O'Neill. They taking batting practice. So, just somewhat good news, especially for Gary Sanchez. I don't know if I care at this point. Because maybe he can hold a bat good enough that he can come off the injured list. To a certain extent, if Madrick Hanley is a better defensive catcher, who the hell cares? You start putting Gary Sanchez in there and the pitching goes to shit again. What do you want? So to a certain extent, maybe that's part of what's turning the pitching around a little bit. Maverick Hanley being a part of it a little more. Maybe. Because he's definitely more known for his defense and his catching prowess more than his hitting prowess. But however, it was that article too. This article written by Rock Kabako. Orioles added a coach over the weekend, John Mabry. A name I'm somewhat familiar with. It's been a long time. I do remember he existed as a player. Am I really familiar with him? No, I wouldn't say familiar. I'm aware that he existed as a baseball player. Didn't necessarily know he started coaching after that. Ryno Hearn has some experience with him as a coach, liked him. Tony Saunders, the outfield coach, has experience coaching with him, liked it. So, and a few other guys as well. So, local guy from Cecil County here in Maryland. So, somewhat interesting move. We'll see how long some of these guys stick around. Does Mansolino get the managerial gig at the end of the season? Does John Mabry? Does Buck Britton? Who knows? We'll see. Alright, let's get the schedule wrap this shit up and get out of here. Yeah, it was weird seeing 3 green dots right next to each other. We did that once. The last 2 against the Red Sox and then the Cardinals, but you can't do it. Couldn't do it against. Jesus, look at that losing streak. Did not have 3 green dots next to each other. And it's coming without Brandon Hyde. Yeah, I mean, it's sad that it had to be that way, but apparently it had to be that way. You had to light a fire under these assholes. Again, no 3 green dots next to each other the whole year. Except after they got rid of Brandon Hyde. They got rid of Brandon Hyde, this game here. Yeah, that's weird. Alright. Off day today, Monday, Orioles scheduled to play the Seattle Mariners in a 3-game set in Seattle. Tuesday night's game scheduled 9:40. Wednesday's game scheduled 9:40 p.m. Yep, late games, West Coast. Thursday's game, the day game, scheduled for 3:40 p.m. And then, no off-day Athletics. They're going to play the Athletics. And you can see how it just says the Athletics, not a team name. Where are they playing? Shit, I don't remember where the hell they're playing. They're playing in some Not Major League Stadium. Minor League, AAA, AA Stadium. So I want to say Carson City, but is that right or wrong? It might be Carson City. I don't remember. Who the hell knows? Ugh. So that'll do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. Please stay tuned for Friday, and I will discuss the series between the Baltimore Orioles and the Seattle Mariners. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm the Angry Ryno, and this is Birdland.